everyone, it's Scott from ScottMillerGuitar.com. I hope you guys are doing well today. Hey guys, on this YouTube channel this year, we've done a lot of stuff, haven't we? We've done a ton of songs. We're going to keep doing that. We're doing a lot of more advanced stuff, scales, modes, arpeggios, picking technique for the advancing players. We're going to keep doing that. And I guess a third category, if there is one, I get a lot of questions weekly on equipment. And the emails go something like, Scott, can you tell us about the guitars you recommend, or amps, or pedals, and picks, and strings, and stuff like that? A common question I'm getting on a weekly basis, which I love, I appreciate, is what brand of capo do I use? Let me show you. This is the Shubb Capo, S-H-U-B-B. I'm going to provide a link below, so after you check out this video, you can click on their link, you can go to their site, check out the different models, and I would suggest absolutely buy what I consider the world's greatest capo. Now, I'm not a spokesperson for this company. I am a guitar player who uses their product simply because it's the best. So let's talk about the capo for a minute. I'm going to show you some examples, and I'll tell you why I think it is the very best one. So what's the purpose of the capo? Most of you guitar students out there know you can learn a song using open strings in the first 4 frets, a lot of the basic chords you've learned, but even some of the more not so basic. I mean, you can take basic chords and add different notes to it, create more color to it. So for instance, I'm just going to make up something on the spot. I'm going to do a lot of open chords, open strings, right? Well, let's say you're working with a singer and he or she says, I have a higher range than the song was recorded. Can you play that song up 2 frets, or up a minor third, or up a perfect fifth, or whatever in the knowledge they have? That would be very hard for a lot of students to do that on the spot, to take those chords and transpose it into another key, which for the guitar player might require bar chords, and they're trying to avoid that. So check this out. You take a capo, which again is not cheating. It's a great tool to transpose on the spot by playing the same thing you played and just sounds higher. So let me just put the capo, for instance, on the 3rd fret. I'm going to try to play what I just played. It might not be perfect because I don't remember what I just played, but I just made that up. It's something like this. Okay, see that? So the capo is an awesome, amazing tool. It's totally essential for like students playing songs in the 21st century. I use it on a daily and weekly basis with recording sessions and gigs and things like that. So I got something from Shubb's website. I'm going to read it to you. It's on my stand over here. I like how they say this. A capo's greatest challenge is intonation. So what does that mean? The ability to play in tune all over the neck. So let's say you have a great guitar and you've tuned your guitar properly. A lot of the inferior capos out there, they smash or pull the strings. So now suddenly your in-tune guitar is now out of tune and it sounds horrible. So what I've seen students do in that case, the capo's on, and then they try to retune their guitar because they're out of tune, and guess what happens? They take off the capo and the guitar's totally out of tune. So that's not a good way to go. I'm going to read something from their site, and again, I encourage you to check out their site and get the world's greatest capo. It says to address tuning issues, they feel as if a capo should be totally adjustable. And I totally agree with this. On the back of this capo, you see this? I can turn this and I can adjust the tension for this capo. If I put on the capo and it's a bit loose, let's see this. Sounds okay? It's not enough positive snap for me. I'm going to tighten it a little bit. Maybe you could hear that, how it snaps. So this is an adjustable capo. Now it's not the world's only adjustable, but that's one thing. That's how they address the intonation issues, to have an adjustable capo. So it says when, this is them speaking, not me, when I should say they developed their capo, their main job was to minimize or eliminate the need for retuning. We just talked about that, right? And they accomplished this with 3 things. 1, a unique material that acts just like your fingertip. What I thought was really cool when I read this, you have the stainless steel capo, and they're saying that this portion, the stainless steel portion, acts like the bone of your finger, but this rubber part acts like the flesh of your finger, meaning it's not a hard material, so the strings kind of nicely just blend into that, so it doesn't sound smashed, it doesn't sound pulled, it doesn't sound out of tune. So the material matters. Number 2, a patented closing action that works exactly like your hand. Pretty brilliant, right? This capo should act like your first finger in a bar chord situation, right? And that's what it does. And lastly, a one-time adjustment that provides the ideal pressure every time. Again, I can adjust this every time I want to use it, but what I've done On my acoustics and electrics, I set it once, and like they said, set it and forget it. You set the pressure. If it's too loose, tighten it. If it's too tight, loosen it. And then once it's snapped in place, it's good. I usually put this in my gig bag or my case. Guess what? I'm not adjusting the back of it, so it's ready every time. And if it get bumped around in the case, for instance, I just readjust on the fly. It's pretty brilliant. Lastly, let's talk about radius. Did you know that an acoustic guitar and electric guitar, well, I should say all guitars have a radius or a curvature to the fingerboard. Look at a classical guitar, for instance. That's a really flat fingerboard. And by the way, Shubb has capos for wider necks, such as 12 strings and classicals, with a very flat radius of the classical. But this one is called the S1, and it's a standard one, and it fits most acoustics and electrics. And I thought it was pretty brilliant when you read about how they checked out with different manufacturers. They made sure that this capo would work on different manufacturers and different radiuses, covering pretty much, again, all standard acoustics and electrics. So my choice, my recommendation for you guys is if you're going to use a capo, there's only one choice. It's the Shubb. Check them out, shubb.com. I'll put a link below. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next video.